Are you looking for meaning in life? Well, watch my videos. That is your purpose. Speaking of which, if you watched last week's Skyrim build, then you'll have already known that this Stormcloak build was coming, and all be prepped by having watched its Imperial Legion counterpart. If you haven't watched that video yet, then please go and watch it. It will enrich the experience of watching this video. If you have already watched it, then please do so again. I base my self-worth from the views my videos gain, plus I like making money. And if you're coming back from watching that video, thanks. Let's get started on this build now. The main skills for the Stormcloak Champion are two-handed and heavy armour. Two-handed is our damage dealer, and boy oh boy does it do this well. Throw as many perks as you can into the Barbarian perk, and you'll be slaughtering anyone in your way. Additionally, I'd recommend getting all of the power attack based perks. Not only do these help make your power attacks more deadly, but also add to the variety of animations, which is always a plus in my books. Heavy armour is our main defensive skill of the build, and girl oh girl are you gonna want to level this one up. As a melee focused build, you'll be wanting to hit the armour cap in order to mitigate the damage you take in every fight. Go up the right hand side of a tree towards matching set, and then put in as many points into Juggernaut as are needed. Additionally, you'll want to get all the perks on the left hand side of a tree, as conditioning will make you far more mobile, despite your cumbersome equipment. As for minor skills, we have block, one-handed and smithing. The block skill is here primarily for when you go up against a foe out of your league. While you'll normally be using a two-handed weapon, you also have a sword and shield you can switch to if need be. As such, a few perks in the block skill don't go amiss, those perks being shield wall, deflect arrows and quick reflexes. But while hiding behind your shield, you'll also want to be able to deal damage from time to time. This is where one-handed comes in, and things are really simple here. All you really need is the Armsman perk for bonus damage, however fighting stance can be helpful for easier power attacks. Finally, in minor skills we have smithing, and non-binary, oh non-binary, is this the best of the trio. As with last week, we only need steel smithing and arcane blacksmith, but for just these 2 points, we not only get to cap out the armour value, but also make our weapons far more deadly. The higher you can raise the number on your battle axe, the less swings it takes to win a fight. If you're wanting more info, or just like staring at a character sheet of sorts, then the Nukes Dragons link for the build will be in the description. Onto Standing Stone, where we have the Atronach Stone. 50% absorb magicka can help stop those pesky mages from decimating your health too quickly. Everything else the stone gives is basically irrelevant. When you level up as this character, you're normally going to want to increase your health pool. More health means less death. However, you do also want to throw the odd level into stamina, in order to power attack even more, something which really does matter for this build. And as for magicka, ignore it, you're a warrior, not a mage. And for a power, we're going to focus primarily on the Frost Breath Shout, a great counter to the Fire Breath we went with last week. This shout does reasonable damage, enough to kill weak enemies and weaken strong ones. Assumingly it would strong and kill ones, but I don't know what that means, so I'm sure it's fine. You're also a Nord, so you can scream at people without it being seen as socially unacceptable. I would highly recommend doing so, as it's a great way to deal with your daily violent urges. Onto equipment, and here we have the powerhouse of the build, Soon's Judgment. I genuinely don't know if I'm correct in pronouncing that correctly. I can't even say words properly. How am I supposed to say soon? No idea. This long axe has... I can't say axe either. Wow, I'm real bad at this. This long axe has solid reach, great damage, and a hefty ice enchantment. What this adds to is being able to kill the vast majority of enemies within a few swings. If you can't kill an enemy that fast though, you may need to switch to your other weapon set, the offensive piece of which is the Stormbear Sword. This deals less damage than your axe, but it does swing faster, making it easier to get a quick hit in before going on the defensive or backing away from the fella you just shanked. When it comes to armour, we'll be wearing the Stormbear set, consisting of Stormbear armour, boots, gauntlets and helmet. There's also a shield you'll want equipped when using your sword. The total effects of the armour will max out your frost resistance, increase your health by 75 points, regenerate stamina 10% faster, reduce cost of power attacks by 20%, and reduce time between shouts by 20% too. The shield provides even more frost resistance, blocks damage better, and doubles the damage when you shield bash. When it comes to your bling, in an ideal world you'll be using a ring and necklace that fortify two-handed to get your damage output even higher. If you're a bit of a loudmouth, then you may want to change your necklace to an Amulet of Talos for even more shouting. And finally, we have the Adventurer Backpack, granting 20 more points of stamina and a net gain of 74 carry capacity. When it comes to completing quests, the most important is, of course, the Battle of Champions. This is where you get all of your equipment. However, it's a little harder this time as you want to side with the Stormcloaks, who are a bit more fussy on who they give their god tier armor to and are demanding 5 Snowbear pelts. The quest provides the option to steal those, although that feels too dishonourable for this character, and you can purchase them from vendors, although ironically this feels rather cheap. The true Stormcloak way to complete this stage of the quest would be to slay 5 Snowbears and take their pelts to the capital, proving you truly are the champion of the Nords. And as their champion, you'll obviously be siding with the Stormcloaks in the Civil War. Fight for the freedom of Skyrim and get Ulfric on the throne. That truly is the main goal of this character. As a side goal though, you might fancy saving the world, which will mean completing the main quest. This time though, you have my full permission to spare party snacks and tell the blades to go do one. The follower for this build will be Stembar, the mercenary you can pick up in Windhelm. His stats somewhat mirror your own, so kit him out in heavy armour and whatever the second best two-hander you have is. I found he did surprisingly well in combat, despite being voiced by the same actor who voiced Farkas, who is objectively the worst character in Skyrim. Yes, even worse than Nazim. At least Nazim isn't locked into any quests. This character plays as a complete psychopath who we should all fear. She charges into combat, swinging her axe wildly and slaughtering anyone she deems to be an enemy of Skyrim. The two-handed playstyle makes this character very aggressive, focused around killing your enemy fast enough that they don't have the chance to kill you first. If this strategy fails, you can instead switch to your sword and shield, and fight a battle of attrition, hiding behind your shield and occasionally slashing at your foe whenever the opening presents itself. One pleasant surprise I had when testing this character was just how well the mounted combat section went. I bought a horse, got it the Stormcloak saddle, which is about 100 times better than the Imperial one, and went to town. By which I mean went outside of town, into the wilderness where there's plenty of space to fight. And during these fights I slayed! Hit and run giant axe swings make easy work of giants, dragons, mammoths, any large target really. Smaller targets are harder to hit, but so are you, so I guess it's a fair fight. The Stormcloak Champion had been born and raised in Skyrim. She was a proud daughter of the North, loyal to her homeland and eager to serve it. Every morning she would pray to Talos, and then swear allegiance to her homeland, a practice that some of you may think is perfectly normal, but which most of us non-Americans find so damn weird. Seriously, Americans, go and explain the Pledge of Allegiance to a foreign friend as if it's a totally normal thing, and just see what their response is. Back to the character now, who was utterly devoted to the idealised version of her homeland. She would do anything for her country, and it was this mentality which led her to Ulfric Stormcloak. She admired the man more than any other and hung on his every word. She would regularly follow in his wake, wanting to stay up to date on everything he said and soak in all of his speeches. When he went to challenge the High King, she was so excited, seeing this as the day that he would take control of Skyrim and make the land she loved even greater. But when he won the duel, he was forced to flee from Solitude rather than taking up the crown, and when he did, so did she. In the chaos of the exit, she filed into the ranks of the Stormcloaks, feeling that it was where she belonged. After they were free from potential pursuers, her presence was noted by the others, and she was questioned as to her motives. As she explained that she wished to join the cause, Ulfric approached her and began speaking. She was entranced by his words, instantly swearing to fight by his side and devote her life to the Stormcloak cause. This made the Jarl smile, and she was given the blue uniform, becoming one of Ulfric's soldiers. During one night after travelling with him, they were camped out and a young man in ramshackle armour approached. The foolish Imperial drew his sword and challenged the whole camp, to which he was met with laughter. Ulfric, however, saw this as an opportunity for her to prove her worth, a chance she jumped at, shaking with excitement as she grabbed a battle axe. She swung a deadly blow at the foolish Imperial, expecting to fell him with a single attack. Much to her surprise, he was more nimble than she expected, not only dodging her first blow, but all the others that followed. He was unable to land a blow of his own, but this mattered not, as their duel was called short when a host of Imperial soldiers charged forwards, surrounding the Stormcloaks during their time of rest. Despite her wishes to fight, Ulfric let out an order to surrender, denying her the chance to prove her worth. She then took this opportunity to hit the foolish youth that had distracted them with the back of her axe, knocking him to the ground cold, and causing the approaching soldiers to give her a similar treatment. When she awoke, she was glad to see Ulfric still alive, yet fearful as to what would soon occur. Thank you all very much for watching this latest build. A little less serious than some of my previous ones, so let me know if you enjoy this style. Also, feel free to let me know if there's a specific piece of Creation Club content that you think I should base a build around. I've already been asked to make a Crusader build around the eponymous equipment, and I've been wanting to make a Skeleton Summoner since the anniversary trailer dropped, so let me know if there's anything else. That's it for the video, subscribe for more like it. As always, thanks for watching. Sarge out.